disk drive scream, living out a fiber optic dream. Wire controllers in our hands, a digital world we command. 20 years and still online. 20 years and still online.
Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 773 for Tuesday, the 14th of April, 2026. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 360G, and joining me today is...
It's Graham, or GMOX14 again.
But the PS3 was better quality and better deal all round. It's Nick Fights.
Oof.
I'm actually dumbstruck by that comment. It's Sensei Switch.
Hello and welcome. Just a little note. I know obviously patrons, I normally get the episode out on Monday. It's not happening this week because I'm at Alton Towers all day Monday, so this won't be up till Tuesday. So just to let you know, I'm looking forward to going on a few theme park rides. Hopefully it won't be too busy. We shall see. Now these holidays is over because I went to Legoland on Friday and it was redonkulously busy. So
Oh yeah, it's Easter holidays, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. But I normally don't go like during school holidays. But I bought a Merlin pass last year and it runs out on Monday. So I was like, well, if we don't use it now, that's it. So I'm not buying another one.
True.
So you're going to Rolton Towers tomorrow?
Yes.
Good luck. I saw a video on YouTube this morning that said that that's gone to shit, and that took them over an hour to park and get to the gates.
Oh, whenever I normally go, it's normally not too bad because I normally get there about half hour before it opens.
Yeah, I think, but this guy went bank holiday Monday, so I think that probably doesn't help, does it?
And
No.
I'll text you my. I'm not going to give it away now, but I have some tricks up my sleeve. I'll let you know later in our WhatsApp group.
I know what you'll do. You'll park in the disabled section and just start limping.
Something like that. Yeah. So anyway,
talking.
what was I going to say? Anyway, this week's show's a little bit different. We're going to be talking about the Xbox 360. On the 2nd of December, it was the 20-year anniversary of the release of the Xbox 360 in the United Kingdom. Wow. That makes me feel so old because I remember picking up my Xbox 360 on launch day like it was yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but I just think that's mental. 20 years.
I got mine a year later.
Wow. It's just insane, man. It's just insane. So yeah, it's a crazy time. So I thought we'd go through like some of our favourite memories of the Xbox, maybe some of our favourite games. I've got a few little facts on here as well that people might find interesting. And the other reason why that the Xbox 360 is resurfaced again, maybe on my YouTube feed and socials and stuff, is it's finally been hacked easily. So there's now a method of hacking your Xbox 360 with a simple program that you run on a USB drive. You plug it into your Xbox 360, completely opens it up. Which is fantastic. You can just plonk any game on there to run, because obviously the marketplace got shut down a year or two ago on Xbox 360. Obviously, people got upset about that. I'm still upset about that because I've been playing my Xbox 360 this week and it just feels very bare bones without the marketplace. And, you know, It's really hard to re-download all the games you own as well, because you just have to go through your purchase list in the settings, which is god awful. But this new modding method has a really nice user interface. It's called Aurora, and it looks really, really nice. And as I say, you can just download or acquire your games from all different sources on the internet and plonk them on your Xbox on an external hard drive if you so wish, and they'll all run. And that's a good way of keeping those old Xbox Live arcade games alive that obviously you can't buy anymore anywhere else.
Mm.
So, and one thing I noticed this week as well, because I've got my Xbox.
Bank.
Yeah, well, I've got my Xbox 360 plugged in, you see, because there's obviously Xbox Live Arcade. Loads of titles are not backwards compatible even today. So the only way to play them is if you originally purchased them on an Xbox 360, such as an Outrun game and various other games, especially like arcade games. So, you know, it's a good thing to keep it alive, I think. So, just a few things I just wanted to mention about it before we get into the chat is the Xbox 360 launched 2nd of December 2005, and if you remember back that far, HD TVs weren't really a thing back then. Most people still had a 4x3 CRT TV. HD TVs were really kind of a rarity. But when they
very expensive and like 720p, weren't they?
Yes, this is what I was going to get into. So when they first come out, it was 720p. And then do you remember 720p and 1080i? And then later we went to 1080p. But throughout the years of the Xbox 360, there's been a lot of different models. The original model on launch day didn't have a HDMI port because HDMI wasn't even a standard then.
No, that was, if I remember correctly, the HDMI first turned up on the Xbox Elite, 360 Elite.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So that didn't come out until 2007.
Wireless adapter.
Yeah, I've still got my wireless adapter. Where is it?
They were like 60 quid, weren't they?
There you go. I've actually, if anyone's watching me on Twitch, there it is. Even though it's blocking out the aerial because I've got that funky thing on, but there it is.
I imagine the speed on it and everything was like absolutely banging.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So, yeah.
What model did you get? I obviously went for the 360. Was it called Premium or just like, was it just 360 and then you just had the arcade that didn't have a hard drive?
Yeah, so it was actually
Core.
It was called the 360 Core. So you had the Xbox 360 Core on launch, and you had the 360 Premium or Pro. And the difference was the Premium had a 20 gig hard drive and the shiny disc tray.
Yeah, I was going to say it was plain matte, wasn't it?
Yeah.
White tray for the arcade as well.
The arcade didn't have, obviously, a hard drive, and it only had a wired controller as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I couldn't, obviously,
No.
I didn't remember that until I was reading up about it this morning. But obviously, if you didn't have the hard drive version, you needed to buy a memory card, which at the time I thought was a bit backwards because the original Xbox obviously had had an inbuilt hard drive. So I thought at the time,
I forgot about the memory cards, to be fair.
So I remember at the time thinking, oh, this is a bit backwards that they're doing this, but obviously it was a cost-cutting exercise. So, yeah, but I've probably told the story 100 times on the podcast, but for those of you that haven't heard this, I remember pre-ordering the Xbox 360 months and months in advance from a little website called play.com, if you guys remember that.
And they fucked you.
And they fucked me up the arse. Literally, like 2 days before the console's meant to release, I had an email. Sorry, we can't fulfill your pre-order because we didn't get enough stock in. And I pre-ordered it when the pre-orders went live on the website, so I was furious. And
I
obviously,
can imagine this almost on the verge of screaming or something.
yeah, yeah, mate.
Tell me
So,
now, how am I supposed to just get one?
yeah, so I remember this like so vividly. So the only place I could think of to get an Xbox was Tesco's. So if you live in Peterborough, you'll know exactly the Tesco's I went to. It was the big Tesco's in Yaxley, just outside of Peterborough. Peebs would know it very well. I went there at lunchtime, around midday of the day, like before the midnight launch. And there was already...
just to ask if they were getting any in stock.
No, I went and queued up, mate. There was already someone queuing.
Oh, right, wow.
Yeah. And then literally within about 20 minutes, there was about 5 or 6 of us in the queue.
Because the other thing you've got to think about as well,
yeah,
the 360 didn't really kind of go mainstream until about a year or so into its life cycle.
Yeah, yeah. But
I think it was still kind of a niche machine compared to, like, obviously your PlayStations and your Sega systems and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I think the thing that got it quite popular was obviously the original Xbox did okay. Obviously, it did nothing in compared to the PlayStation 2, which was, I think, up until recently, was still the best-selling console of all time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think the Switch has overtaken it or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or one of the Nintendo handheld.
Yeah, but PlayStation had such a grip on console gaming back then with the PlayStation 2. Obviously, they'd not Sega out of the console race, and stuff like that. So, but the Xbox 360 launched a whole year before the PlayStation 3, so they had a very large head start. And if you remember, obviously, as well, back then, there was massive leaps in graphical fidelity between console generations, whereas you don't really get that now.
No.
So, obviously, like, technology was still moving at a very fast rate. Smartphones hadn't even come out yet then either. So, obviously, like, you got to think back, like, all the technology that we really take for granted today didn't even exist back then. Console gaming online was still very much in its infancy. With the original Xbox Online, PS2 Online was fucking shit. It was a bit of an afterthought. Xbox really nailed it, with a online. Well, obviously it's your gaming tag, but your online name that actually went from game to game. Because when PlayStation tried to copy Xbox Live, you had a different ID per game that you played.
Oh, that's terrible.
Which was really annoying. And a lot of that was because of EA, because EA wanted to obviously control the online from their end, and it took a lot of discussions with Xbox for them to finally cave and agree to the gamer tag type system. So obviously, back then, like, Xbox was like the king of online gaming for consoles anyway, with the OG Xbox. But it really, obviously, with internet adoption with fast speed internet becoming more into fruition around the mid 2000s, it was kind of the perfect time as well for the console. Obviously, it had the inbuilt Ethernet port. If you enjoyed this little snippet of this week's show, why not subscribe to the Patreon? Head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast to listen to this full 2 hours and 50 minutes long episode exclusive for Patreons, where we run down the history of the Xbox 360 and our favourite memories celebrating 20 years. You also get access to our full library of podcasts, back catalogue, and all future episodes as well. So why not join today? Head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast or visit our website, which is now back up and running, 360gamercast.com. All the info you need is right there. So sign up today.